Hello, everyone. It's the most sort of a convenient speech setting I've ever had. So comfortable sitting on the chair, on the sofa. It's so honored to be a human being and enjoy this convenience. My name is Ling FAN. I'm going to talk about. I have 30 slices, but I'll try my best to wrap up in 8 minutes and to talk about how generative AI is going to impact creators and creativities. Before going into the most updated technology, I want to go back 400 years ago, almost 400 years ago, to this Dutch artist Vermeer. I think we are all familiar with this painting, right? This painting has some unique features. First, it's very small. It's about the same size. Well, the head is about the same size as our head. So the whole picture is quite intimate in a way. And the second feature is that the color difference is so subtle that it's hard for a human painter to distinguish the color variations in a way, the lights, the colors, the effects. So people start to puzzle how Vermeer drew this about 400 years ago. So there were serious research by researchers. This is a book on Vermeer called Vermeer's Camera. And then also a very, very good documentary shoot about 10 years ago called Teams Vermeer, which is a documentary to decode how Vermeer sort of drew these kind of drawings. He has very limited paintings in his life. And everyone is very small, no landscape, only sort of humans and some sort of fixtures. And then the researchers discovered that in his lab, which is a small studio next to the cathedral at Delft, on the second floor of a small building, he actually used technology called camera obscura, which is like a projection. So to project the image onto the wall, and then he sort of trace it. So here it's hard to say if in today's perspective we of course understand Vermeer as an artist, but at that time he is mainly an engineer that produced that apparatus called camera obscura and really make artwork out of that machine that he produced. So what I'm trying to argue is this. In the human history, we emphasize the idea of human beings, right? We say we create a lot of things. But actually, we create based on a lot of technology, a lot of tools, and we always use the technology, and the technology empowers our imagination. I love this quote by Marshall McLuhan. He said, first we shape our tools, from very simple one to more sophisticated one, to more autonomous one, and then the tools shape us. So we are, along the development of technology, we have all these tools that emancipates us to think more widely, like the Kit Kat campaign. I love it. And in this process, if we think about an axis of idea and the other axis is effort, with the perspective technology, the technology developed right before the Renaissance, we are relatively easy to create image compared with the one before. Without this kind of knowledge, we just draw randomly. But with the perspective, we at least have a method that to draw more precisely. And then later we have digital tools like Photoshop, and it's easier. A lot. We probably will say that. We won't challenge right now, say how many graphic designers are replaced by Photoshop. Actually, graphic designers, the discipline is created by Photoshop. It's the print maker is actually replaced by Photoshop. And now AIGC comes in. AIGC comes in, it democratized the creativity capability. It makes creating image, creating video, later on creating three-dimensional models as easy as creating text. So that's sort of the way that democratizing the creativity effort is what the technology sort of enables us. This is an assumption I have. It will be an explosion for creators and builders. It will be explosion. We won't have less creators, we'll have more. Younger. And before we probably spend a lot of time to make that effort, we spend a relatively smaller time to think. And it will turn into this. We'll spend 90% of the time to think, and less time to make the effort to draw, to make the model, etc., etc. So, idea thrills. But of course, it won't be like we keep thinking like daydreaming, and then we do a little bit. It would be a process that constantly iterates. Think, do, think, do, think, do. Within the same period of time, we'll have more iterations of creative process. Inspiration, ideation, and creation. So, here, I want to propose an idea called the flywheel of creativity. The flywheel, the first term comes from a business writer, Jim Collins, is saying that if it's a company, you have a better service, then you have better income, you have better product, you have better service. So the flywheel, when it first starts, is slow, and then you gradually build a barrier, you build a moat, and then you build a business, you build a sustainable business. A great example is Microsoft. And idea is the same. If we iterate, if we have faster flywheels, the faster is not the purpose. It's just help us to think more, think better, and think wider to solve those unsolvable problems before. That's sort of the flywheel I'm talking about. You have a lot of inspirations, but with the prompt, you will have a lot more ideations. With the prompt, you will have a lot of creations, and then this continues. So within a period of time, we keep iterating our ideas, and so that's what the AIGC or generative AI can be able to help to empower the creators. This reminds me of a very recent breakthrough technology in large language model and foundation model called chain of thoughts. What is chain of thoughts? This is a paper last year, very recent. Chain of thoughts, it's about how to decode the reasoning process for the machine. So if I ask machine, what's the result if I have 30 books, I give Maggie 10, how many books we have altogether? And the machine will say 40, because it's mathematics. The mathematical capability of the machine is taught by a PE teacher. And then I sort of can inspire the machine. I said, oh, if I give 10 books to Maggie, how many books I have? Oh, it will calculate 20 books I have. So how many altogether? It will say 30. So that's the correct answer. So that's a sort of a chain of thoughts. One of the big breakthroughs for the large language model of this generation AI is so-called in-context learning. Basically, you can build a context for the machine, and the machine will become a role that you define for him, or for it, sorry. And that's sort of...
It, him?
Her, for them, yeah, sorry. So that's the chain of thoughts. So we are ready, we are able to use in-context learning and chain of thoughts to start to make your personalized language model. You can mimic, you can say, well, if you are a great writer of the world, you're the best copywriter, and then how you react to it. It actually can put themselves into that role. So I would say, for the creativity, we'll also have chain of creativity. Just give one very simple example. So we built, 3-4 months ago. Now it looks very bad, but at the time it's kind of advanced. So it just gives you an example. These are the inputs. My company, we have every Thanksgiving I will draw thank you cards for my staff, and these are the thank you cards. But now we have 500 people already, so I won't be able to draw. So these are the training models I used to draw. And then we train the model, right? Training. And then the model generates some result, not as good as mine, right?
Oh.
But some have some good quality. So we use those model-generated results together with some of my personal drawings together. We train a second-generation model. And the second-generation model will create some results. And then, of course, we can do that every year with human input and machine input, right? But what's more important is if we look at this image, just like Maggie just mentioned, a lot of data are unstructured data. My number is 95%, your number is 80. I don't know which collect. But a lot of the data is unstructured data. And the unstructured data, it collects in the so-called metadata session. And then within the metadata session lower part, there's a small piece called content DNA, which is sort of, we try to use metadata to record how that process, chain of creativity happened. So you see here, the bottom part, from the bottom to the top. FL, that's my initial. I create some drawings, 8 of them, and then do the model training, and then create a generation 1 model, and then LJN, which is one of my students, use prompt, and then to create a second generation. And then Ouyang is another colleague of mine. That model trained the second generation model, and then to prompt Ginkgo, another colleague of mine, to create the final result. So this is itself what we call train of creativity. Imagine chain of thoughts that you can sort of have a logical conversation with the machine, and then here is a logical and creative conversation with the machine. So the chain of thoughts, a chain of creativity, and the creative flywheel sort of combines together. That would be the paradigm which I think we can explore more. It's not the right or wrong answer. It's just start to explore more how the human and machine can create together.
Okay.
So, time, I know.
Oh, I thought we were done.
Here comes back to the topic I have. I call BMR, brain-machine ratio. Very simple, RMB, BMR, RMB, BMR. BMR creates RMB. So we think about the relationship between human and machine. First, of course, what kind of job, what kind of task machine can do in the place of human, right? That's capability. And the second, which part you want to ask the machine to do. Some parts machine is very good at, but you actually do not want the machine to do. You enjoy doing that. For instance, designers enjoy browsing inspirations. And those things machine are very good at. Data mining, best thing that machine can do. But you don't want to give the job to the machine. And the third stage is the trust. Which part you trust the machine can do in your place. Okay, so if we look at this chart, easy for human and difficult for human. Difficult for human, definitely you want a machine to help you more. The one that you want to give the machine to do and the one you don't, right? So some you suffers. When you're doing it, you suffers. Some you enjoy doing, you want to do more, right? So I think here propose a new sort of relationship between human and generative AI or machine. Is that let the machine to help you overcome the difficult task, and let the machine to give you more time to do the things that you enjoy, because the machine can, help you to finish the unwanted jobs. I think these are sort of the more active, more positive relationship between a human and machine, between the creation and creator and creator machine, right? So we build. We don't want to make BMR so seriously. We don't want to, do a lot of statistics. We build a set of mini figures. All these are BMRs, right? With the big human brain, but a lot of tools that they develop. If you look at this, can you identify which one is Isaac Newton? Which one is Leonardo da Vinci? The top, that one is da Vinci. I actually own that one. Love it. And so stay enjoying, stay joy, spark joy, and being naive. That's what the creators always need to have. We should enjoy the creation process, and we should keep being naive. And these are some points that I mentioned. Very quick summary.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah, last sentence. What is now normal was once only imagined. So imagination is how we can survive in this generative AI age. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So Fred, now from the technology side,